Hey, welcome back,
Sorry.
Andre.
I'll have a face in just a second. Sorry.
I like this. Fine. Your face is
There we
lovely.
go.
Oh, there we go.
Good to see everyone. I'm alive.
Yay. Yeah, we're excited to have you back.
Thank you.
Sure you got lots to catch up on, but excited to have you back. All right, I had the first one up, which was OKRs. It is a little bit complicated too, because we've been in engineering allocation, but we've also been doing some work related to these. But we share, and when I say share, I don't think Ally really lets us share these correctly, but the OKRs that are assigned to me are the mergeability OKR, the merge widget, not the merge report widgets, but the merge widget OKR, and the error budget OKR. All of which, like, I guess I could figure out how to report on. Easier, likely for the two of you to report on, but mine aren't linked to yours in Ally, and so they all say 0%. And so I wasn't sure if anyone was actually doing anything with those OKRs or has been updating them, or if we have a way to figure out who's like responsible and updating those, because I believe both of you, and I know at least Matt has them also assigned in Ally. Andre, you've probably got similar stuff assigned in Ally as well. So does anyone have any thoughts on this?
So I have them in Ally. I also have, so I have it linked to a GitLab issue, because then you can automatically sync Ally and GitLab if you put like checkboxes in the GitLab issue. So I did that for all of the, well, not the widget one, but for error budgets and mergeability. And so then I just tried to come up with some task lists in GitLab, and then I can check them off as they go. I'll share that in here when I can find it. But yeah, I don't know, like the error budget one, for measuring it, like we're green, we met our goals. So is that 100% done? Is there more stuff we can do? We can talk about that in my update here in a little bit, but it's hard to know if that's like other OKRs, like our large MR OKR. It's like, well, we set a goal of, it was actually much lower than 99.95, but originally, I think at the start of the quarter, it was like 99.8 or something. And now we met that, so is the OKR done? I don't know. I don't know how to measure that then. So I've been kind of measuring like, okay, here's all the things we've been doing to kind of get us there. I don't know if that's correct either.
Yeah, and my perception on my question here is on the merge request widget. We do have one. I have updated it, but it needs another refresh. I haven't checked in more than a month. But they're not related at all. But my question is, how should they be related? Because if you make mine the parent of yours, or if you make mine the child of yours, it won't be Darva's anymore. So it's like, how do we handle these? I'm not sure. Manually is okay. If you just give me the links to yours, I can, whenever I check in on mine, I can check in on yours if I'm allowed.
Yeah, I think it's part of what I was trying to figure out. I don't think you can update mine. And I don't think we can do the complicated relationships that we need to for shared OKRs in Ally based on what I've seen so far. I'm wondering though, Matt said you said you're using an issue. I wonder if we can all link to the same issues, if that would update all of the OKRs. Or if it's like a one-to-one relationship.
I don't think so. In Ally, when you set it up, you just kind of pick like the project and the issue. You have to search, which is kind of clunky, but when you find it, you just set an issue and then it automatically syncs. So I don't know that it cares if it's that same issue is linked to multiple Ally OKRs. But yeah, I'm not sure. I can don't know if you've seen that. I can show how it works if people are interested.
Yeah, that might be good. And then I had another question, which was how often are y'all updating? Sarah's been asking like every week or every other week, but at least I haven't updated anything since the quarter started. And so just so we're aligned on a frequency, just so like she knows that if we're only updating once a month or whatever, then that's fine. I don't have a preference. But
Yeah, I'm aiming for once a milestone, at least, at the very most, but trying more frequent than that. But realistically, once a milestone.
Yeah. Darva at one point said every week. I don't know that I'm doing that. But because I'm just updating issues, then it seems a lot faster. I don't have to actually go into Ally and pick a number. I mean, I check a box and then I'm done. So that's easy. I'll show you what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, please.
All right, so, okay. So this is like the error budget one. It maps to this. You can see there's this little GitLab icon in Ally. So it syncs automatically. But if I were to go in here and check this, I'll remember to go back and uncheck it and then automatically sync it. It just will tick up a little bit up. The percentage automatically updates. So all you need is to have a list of checkboxes, and then you just somehow in here you link it to. I can share. Darva created some videos on it, but I can't remember exactly how you do it. But basically, you set how it gets updated, and you just set it to GitLab. So now I unchecked that one, so it should go back to 75% now. Yeah. So I do that. I have an issue for each one of these, so then I don't have to actually go into Ally very much, because creating a check-in in Ally is a little painful. And I never know what number to put. So this is at least calculates a number for me, so I don't have to just kind of guess on it.
But Matt, so when you specify the data source, I haven't gone through the whole process of setting that up, but we specify a connector like GitLab, then you probably give it a link for an issue, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So what you're suggesting is that we would have one issue for these joint ones that we just keep updated, and then theoretically we just update everyone on that. Is that it? I
think that's what Kaya was suggesting, right? Or that was your idea, which seems like it could work. I don't know.
If you think it's my idea, I'll take the credit, but I don't think it was. But yes, that sounds good. I agree. That would be a good system.
Yeah, we can.
So action points, I can take the action of creating one issue for tracking the Ally, wrapping up the merge request merge widget. That's the one that's falling on my courtyard. And then Matt, you take care of making sure that the other ones have, and we share it with Kai, and then Kai can hook it up with his Ally OKRs. That sound good?
Yeah, Matt, can you share videos if you have them of how to like link an issue?
Yes, I do have them. Darva created a bunch. I will hunt them down and share them. I'll put them in the agenda here.
Or if you give me a second, I can show you. So when you go to the editing the objective progress, you have automatically from a data source, I think. Wait, it worked before. It really worked before. Wait, give me a second. You basically showed a pop-up and I just had to write GitLab and it showed me the connector for GitLab. Anyway, let me just cancel this. I'll do it again. More. Apologies. I thought live demos would go well. Guess I was wrong.
They always do. That's weird.
My Firefox is frozen. What are you talking about? Anyway, so you click on edit, progress, you expand the progress, you set up a data source, and then it shows a search as you type GitLab, connect that, and then just follow that process. Should be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, it popped up for me, so I can
There we go.
fill it in. I would not share your screen and do that only because it shows, at least for me, the connection seems to be to everything that Christopher Leffolt has access to at GitLab. Quite a few projects.
Quite a few.
May or may not be for public.
That's okay. But yes, it should be straightforward to do as long as you have an issue prepared for it. I'll just follow. Have you put the link in the agenda, Matt, for that issue that you're tracking? That would be useful.
I put this epic in here, which basically just has all of my OKR issues. And so each one of the issues in that epic relates to one of my OKRs. Each one has a checklist in it, and you can add and remove checklist items, and then whenever it syncs, it just recalculates how many are checked.
All right. No, that sounds good. I'll follow that. I'll create one for the merge request merge widget and then share it on the channel.
Awesome. Yeah, I will try this as well, and we'll see if this gets everyone updated. So I appreciate the conversation on it. So
yeah, and if I was never sure like what to put in the issue checklist to what we're actually measuring against. So if we're going to share these, then we can definitely revisit the checklists of things that I have and edit them as needed. All right. Should we move on to the engineering allocation, or is there more thoughts on OKRs? All right. The engineering allocation. So we're down to our last InfraDev issue, which has been merged, and it's in verification just as of a couple of days ago. So we're just kind of making sure it was an N+1 error. So we have to do some checking to verify that we don't have that problem anymore, which involves a little bit of manual test setup. So that's what's happening. So that's good. So then we're not sure what the next steps are. In theory, we would exit the engineering allocation shortly. There's a couple complicating things there. One is part of this was to improve our error budgets, which we've done, but most of that was because the threshold measurement changed, and now we're talking, as the engineering group's talking about changing that back, or back either, I don't know if it's back down to 1 second, but it's the infrastructure team added a way in the Rails code that you can kind of define your custom metrics or your thresholds basically for each endpoint. So I'm not sure if that's going to be, we added this feature and now we're going to change everyone back to 1 second, which means our error budgets would go red, and then we'd have to go in manually to certain endpoints if we think that 1 second is too short, and add some code to change that threshold. So we're trying to figure out, they just kind of a no, or they're in the process of making that change, I guess. They made the backend change, but then they are working on documentation and the process. Those are open MRs right now. So that's happening. There's also a proposal, which I can share in here, around working on security issues as a next step. I'll find that link. So we have some security issues, but not too many, but a lot of other things in create and dev have a lot of open security issues. So trying to decide, there's a proposal to see, should the next step be that we work on security issues and help either work on ours and then help maybe the source code team. So that is potentially a next step too, but that's still being discussed. So there's nothing final there.
Okay, thanks for that heads up. Should we pause the recording, or can we speak freely? All good.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else on the EIP that I think we've talked about. I left a comment on the one piece that you mentioned about the thresholds. I just, as you learn more, just please keep us updated.
Yeah.
I'm concerned thresholds will magically change back, and then everyone's error budgets will slowly go
Red
back to red
again.
over the course of a month, and then we'll
Yeah, and
and then people are
then
going to be like, "Wait, what happened?" And you didn't actually do anything, and we'll be like, "Well, no, but you moved the target twice in a month." So I just want to.
Yes.
The more we can stay on top of that is worth staying on top of.
Yeah, we
And
brought it.
then-
We brought that. Sorry to interrupt. We brought that up in a meeting yesterday with Steve in infrastructure. It's like, oh yeah, wouldn't be. He wasn't super clear. It wouldn't be like a critical FCL all of a sudden that we'd be in because our air budget's dropped, which is good. It wouldn't be, but I would worry too that it'd be like, oh, now your air budgets are red. There's a new engineering allocation that has to happen, and everyone has to focus on this. But that's going to affect. I think there was maybe they do this air budget report monthly. I think it is, and the last one was at the beginning of September. But they had kind of sections, and there's a section that we were in that had about 10 or 15 groups in them that all were in the section of the threshold is basically going to move them up into the green section. So I would assume all of those groups are also going to be effective if they change the threshold back all at once. So actually it wouldn't be all at once, it'd be like over 28 days, it would slowly filter in, because that's how we saw it went up a little bit over the course as the data kind of backfills over that time. But so it's going to be a problem for many teams, not just ours, which will be interesting. Sorry, Kai, I think I interrupted you. So
No, you're fine. I think we're good on EA stuff. I added one more FYI, and then we can stop recording and chat if we need to. The last one is just about a proposal that could make our group a test group for turning on the end-to-end test suite inside of our group's merge request, and then making it our engineers' responsibilities to fix potential end-to-end test issues if the merge request breaks them. So we just, if you have thoughts on it, feel free to voice them. I don't know how far this is moving or where we're at, but I've left a comment there so you guys can take a look. I know, Andre, you were out. And Matt, I know you've been under EA stuff, so we haven't really looked at it, but it's worth probably thinking about before we get roped into potentially something that could be hard.
Okay, I'll take a look. I'm a bit outside of the loop there.
All right, I will stop this.